Hey guys, Razorblade Mango here, and today I'm going to be talking about something very special, something that I have been waiting for a while now, that a lot of us have been waiting for, and that is talking about the PlayStation 5. And finally, it was announced a couple days ago that Sony are going to finally show off the PlayStation 5 and the games that are going to be coming to it on Thursday. So this is exciting. This is the first time on the channel that I get to talk about a new PlayStation console coming out like this. The channel didn't even exist back when the PlayStation 4 was first announced. So this will be the very first time that I talk about any kind of predictions or concerns with a console like this. Now, I haven't done a video about the Xbox Series X because, well, I basically own one already since I have a PC. Since pretty much every single one of their upcoming exclusives is going to be coming to PC nowadays, so I already own one. I don't need to talk about the Xbox Series X. But I want to talk about PlayStation 5 because, truth be told, I think PlayStation 5 is far more interesting. So, to be honest, this is the most excited I've been to see next-gen stuff. Because I've been quite bored with how Sony and Microsoft have been marketing their next-gen consoles for the past few months or so. Hell, for the past probably more than half a year, I've been a little bored with it. Because rather than talking about their games and how they are going to evolve gameplay-wise, what advantage these games are going to have gameplay-wise with this next generation of consoles, it seems to be this stupid crap war of things like, oh, look how many teraflops we've got, and look how many polygons and pretty pixels we've got. I stopped caring about raw graphical horsepower a long time ago. Some of the best games of this generation, some of my absolute favorite games of this generation, do not run on this idea of having the most dynamic, amazing graphical horsepower stuff in their game. Like, hell, I'm playing Persona 5 Royal right now, and that game does not have anywhere near the amount of polygons or gigahertz and pixels as something like Order 1886 or Quantum Break or Red Dead 2, and yet it is hands down one of the very best games of this console generation because of its art style and its gameplay. 8K resolution and ray tracing mean absolutely nothing to me if the games suck. If they're fucking boring, I'm not gonna care how pretty it looks. And I keep bringing this example up. Software is king, and so far only Xbox has shown off one or two games for the Xbox Series X. We know about Halo Infinite and we know about Hellblade, the Hellblade 2. And truth be told, I'm really excited for Hellblade 2. Could not give less of a shit about Halo Infinite. So my go-to example of why I think this console war over graphics is stupid is the Nintendo Switch. Just look at it. Compared to these other consoles, and hell, compared to the PS4 and Xbox One, it's an underpowered piece of crap. But the software on that system is undeniably impressive. I can't go to the PS5 to play Super Mario Odyssey. I can't go to the Xbox Series X to play Breath of the Wild. I can't go to the PS4 to play Animal Crossing New Horizons. I can only go to the Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo Switch for the past few years has been killing it in terms of software. Just wow. I want to see games that impress me from a gameplay standpoint. Games that are fun, not just games that look pretty. And aside from the out-of-nowhere articles detailing its tech, a look at the controller, and an Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, Sony has been doing this weird cloak and dagger strategy with the console. Their marketing strategy for it has been the complete opposite of Xbox's. Xbox has been really surprisingly open about what the console is going to be, and we already know a few, like I said, we already know a few of the first-party titles that are being developed for it. The one PS5 first-party exclusive we know about that exists is whatever the hell Blue Point Games is working on. That's it. That's all we know as far as the first-party side from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, the thing that I've been saying for a long time, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like hearing this, is that my prediction is going to be, this is the console generation where Sony is going to fuck up, and they're going to lag behind Xbox. I hope I'm wrong. As a lifetime PlayStation fan, I hope they don't fuck this up. But this always happens with whoever is on top. It happened to Nintendo with the Wii U. It happened really badly to Xbox with the Xbox One. And it already happened to Sony with the PS3. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I really, really don't want to be right about a situation like this. But I'm going with my gut here because Sony, aside from the exclusives, has been lagging behind Xbox for a number of years now in terms of all the other areas. And if all Xbox has to do is close the gap with the exclusives, and boom, they will be on par with Sony. Might even be above Sony because they've got really good things like the backwards compatibility, and they seem to be much more lax about things like mods and cross-platform play, stuff like that. Sony is getting up to it in some of those regards, but they're absolutely terrible when it comes to backwards compatibility and mod support. And I don't see that changing anytime soon because from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with like the PS3 and the PS2 and the PS1, and they're going to keep being content to sell these games again to you with these inferior 1080p ports on the like that are outrageously priced on the PlayStation Store. And they have already abandoned it basically. That thing hasn't gotten an update. That classic section on the PlayStation Store hasn't gotten an update for a very long time. So Xbox is killing it with backwards compatibility and keeping their legacy titles in the hands of people that are just now buying an Xbox One and an Xbox Series X in the future. So going back to PlayStation, we know this is going to be a roughly hour-long presentation. I have no idea how it's going to be structured. I have no idea who will be presenting it, and I don't know what all they're going to talk about. I highly doubt we're going to see a specific release date. Maybe the price. I'm sure Sony wants to announce pre-orders for this thing, and the price will definitely be the deal breaker for some people. I'm honestly expecting something, at a bare minimum, I'm expecting $500. However, it appears they're playing this game of chicken with Xbox to see who reveals the price first. So I'm still going to label the price as a maybe. We'll definitely see what it looks like, some features it has, and its launch titles. Jim Ryan made it very clear that not only will we see what games it will launch with, but future titles as well. And the one big area that concerns me in terms of the games is a potential greater emphasis on multiplayer live services. Sony has done a mostly fantastic job this last generation of curating a lineup of exclusives that make them one of the very last bastions for lavishly produced single-player games with almost no live service garbage or microtransactions. I say almost because Uncharted 4 unfortunately has them. And they haven't skimped on the quality either. A good number of them have been critical darlings and big financial successes. And personally speaking, from 2013 to 2018, Sony had a 6-year streak of releasing at least one first-party exclusive a year that I loved and thought was an easy cream of the crop shoo-in. The Last of Us, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Resogun, Infamous Second Son, Bloodborne, Uncharted 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, and God of War. That's a staggering number of high-quality exclusives for a single console. And that's not even including the games that I've liked, that don't exactly belong in the cream of the crop, but I've certainly liked a vast majority of the PS4 exclusives than I have the Microsoft ones. What worries me, though, is that Sony has repeatedly expressed this desire that they'd like to do better at multiplayer games. And they've dipped their toe in the water here and there, and the results have mostly sucked. It's resulted in a bunch of dead games among the maybe small handful of successes. The only ones I can think of that do well are the MLB games, because that's baseball and a lot of people love baseball, and Gran Turismo Sport. I'm honestly impressed with how much longevity they've been getting out of Gran Turismo Sport. Here's the simple truth. Sony are not good at live services, and I don't want them to try. Sony, just stop. Stop trying to make live services. You guys suck at it. Your niche is lavishly produced single-player story-driven games. Stick with that. You're great at that. Now, as per usual with these big reveal events, I've seen some expectations spin wildly out of control. So when talking about the games, I'm gonna divide this into games that will realistically might be shown and games that I'd like to see but more than likely won't be there. So realistically, I'm sure we'll see that Blue Point game I mentioned earlier. This thing has been rumored to be a number of things, from a Symphony of the Night remake to a new Panzer Dragoon, and even a remake of the original Metal Gear Solid. But the most popular rumor, and the one I'll bet on being true, is a remake of From Software's classic Demon's Souls. For a number of years, there has been a lot of smoke coming from that rumor camp, and if that's really what they're working on, I'm impressed it hasn't leaked already. Bluepoint says that it's their largest project to date, and it looks to set the benchmark for what's possible visually on the PS5. Big words coming from Bluepoint. Like I said earlier, I don't really care all that much visually what these games look like on the PS5, but I know Demon's Souls is a very good game, and it's a very good game that I'd love to see give it a major facelift and a new coat of paint. It could be a new IP for all I know, but I'm honestly hoping it's a Demon's Souls remake. Truth be told, I like that game more than I like Dark Souls. Another game I'm sure will be there is Gran Turismo 7. That's an obvious prediction. I'm not sure it will be a launch title, but we'll see something from it. Now, two games that I've heard rumors about for a while now are a Rainbow Six style multiplayer game from Guerrilla Games and a new Uncharted from San Diego Studio. That Guerrilla one is rumored to be a new multiplayer only Killzone with an emphasis on gameplay similar to Rainbow Six Siege. If that's true, that is something I am not at all going to be interested in. I don't care about live services, I don't care about Killzone, and I sure as fuck don't care about a Rainbow Six clone, considering I've been turned off by that game. You can thank Mario for that one. The maybe Uncharted game from Sony San Diego is the one I'm more interested in. I thought I was done with the series after Uncharted 4. I thought it ended the series on a really high note, but Lost Legacy convinced me that this could go on, and I actually want this franchise to go on. What remains to be seen, though, is if Sony San Diego can carry the torch that Naughty Dog has been running with for ages. I don't even think Sony San Diego has made anything for the last number of years that hasn't been baseball. So this will be a really big high bar to leap over if Sony San Diego really is tackling the next Uncharted. I hope it goes well for them if that's really what they're working on, because they've got some big fucking shoes to fill on that front. I'm sure we'll see a new IP or two as well. Will they be good? Probably not. Launch titles on average don't tend to be very good, but that proves extra true for new IPs. What else could they show? I feel like I'm missing something big that I'm gonna kick myself in the ass for later for not mentioning, but oh well. And that's just the first party stuff. Third party is completely up in the air. Even realistically, there are a number of things that could be shown off, because we don't even know if they're going to show stuff cross-gen, if they're going to show only next-gen games. I don't know if they're going to show off games that are console exclusives or just PS5 exclusives. I don't know. Any number of publishers could show up to this thing. Hell, Ubisoft might reveal any number of games they have in their pipeline. Capcom might stop by to show off Resident Evil 8. Square Enix might bore everyone with another useless tech demo. Warner Brothers might finally stop hiding that Batman game they have in development. We don't know. One third-party console exclusive that I'm 1000% certain will be there is Godfall. This was the first game to be publicly confirmed for the PS5, and we've actually seen a snippet of gameplay for it so far. I'm also quite certain that we'll see this year's Call of Duty because Sony and Activision have a rather chummy relationship this generation, and I assume they're going to continue that into the next gen. Besides those two games, I don't know what to expect from the third-party side of games. You know what? I'd actually really like to see Epic make an actual game out of that Unreal Engine 5 tech demo they made. What the fuck was it called? It was like Lumen and the Light or some shit like that. It's a clear Tomb Raider / Uncharted knockoff, but I thought the gliding part at the end looked really fun if they can get that to work properly. And I wouldn't mind a mystical flavored Tomb Raider / Uncharted knockoff. I really would. That could be quite fun. Definitely preferable to another bland, money-grubbing live service. Going back to first party, I've seen a number of people talk about how we're going to see stuff like Ratchet & Clank 2 and Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and God of War 2 and Spider-Man 2, and I want to tell you guys, stop. Slow your rolls on those things. No, we are not going to see God of War 2. Calm the fuck down. That is not happening. We're not going to see Spider-Man 2. Stop that right now. Ratchet & Clank 2, maybe. The only one of those four that I can legitimately see that I wouldn't be surprised is Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And even then, it will only be a small teaser. We're not going to see anything significant from that game. People need to calm the fuck down and keep their expectations within the realm of reality. That's really all I've got as far as the realistic stuff. That's kind of exciting because it's not like E3 where it's like, okay, here's the checklist of games. Here's what they could potentially show. This is something different where we really don't know a lot of the exclusives that Sony's got in their pocket. We really don't know, so it's kind of exciting. And we're not going to know every one of them at this event. We're probably only going to know all the launch stuff and then a small handful of the things that come later. Moving on into the territory of games I'd personally like to see there, whether they're realistic or not. Bloodborne 2. Hey, From Software. Hey, Sony, make this happen, please. I've been wanting Bloodborne 2 for years now. The first one is still my favorite first-party exclusive of the PS4 generation. I needed Bloodborne like yesterday, so make it happen, guys. Come on, chop chop. After Elden Ring, I need to see some kind of announcement for Bloodborne 2. People want it. It'll make a lot of money for Sony and From Software. It's just get Hidetaka Miyazaki back in the director's chair. It's a win-win for everybody. Sly Cooper 5 is one I'd like to see very much. I know Sucker Punch are working on Ghost of Tsushima, but they can bring in new blood to develop Sly Cooper 5. Sly Cooper is a childhood favorite series that's been dormant since 2013. I mean, Sony has done fuck all with it since Thieves in Time, and I'd like to see a resolution to that cliffhanger ending from that game. I don't want a remake of the first one. I don't want a Ratchet & Clank situation. I want a sequel. I want Sly Cooper 5. I want new adventures from the team. SOCOM should come back. If Sony wants to do a multiplayer live service, this is one of the very rare ones that I will maybe accept. Not Rainbow Six Killzone or the fucking recent Predator Hunting Grounds, none of that crap. SOCOM would make an excellent tactical first-person shooter to rival Siege. That's another franchise that Sony has done nothing with for many years now. So those two, Sly Cooper and SOCOM, bring them back, please. New IPs would be nice too. I heard Sony Japan is working on a new IP. That could be cool. It's a long shot, but a new IP from Naughty Dog would be fucking awesome as well. Maybe some more cartoon platformers. Sony has mostly focused on violent adult games this generation. Maybe a little bit too much, but Microsoft has been dragging their ass when it comes to taking advantage of the Rare franchises that they own. So maybe Sony can make their own version of Banjo-Kazooie that's actually good. It could wipe away the memory of how crap Yooka-Laylee was. I mean, Knack, they tried that with Knack. Knack sucked, but they could always try again. The big third-party one, if we're going to go into the realm of not exactly realistic, but something I really want, Silent Hill. This rumor has been gaining traction for a while now. And look, Konami is a terrible publisher. We all know that. But if they back off on making any creative decisions and let Sony do the funding, developing, and marketing, there's a high chance that it will turn out to be pretty awesome. I've been craving a new proper Silent Hill game since PT. So that's been like 6 years now, almost 6 years. And I hope we finally get to see the series return to some semblance of its former glory, especially if they're getting members of Team Silent back. That would be awesome. And I've heard that, I mean, the popular rumor right now is that members of Team Silent are cooperating with members from Sony Japan who have worked on Gravity Rush and the Siren series. That would be awesome if they would bring on Silent Hill and announce it as a PS5 exclusive. That'll be a day fucking one purchase for me. I would love to see that. More horror exclusive IPs for the PS5 in general would please me, because I think Sony could do with a few more horror IPs, exclusive ones. I think that's a market they haven't really tapped into beyond Bloodborne and Until Dawn. I don't really count The Last of Us, because that's more of the stereotypical Sony-driven single-player thing, but horror, survival horror IPs is, I hope, something PlayStation invests more in for the PS5. So, the last game in this video that I want to talk about, that I'd really like to see, and you guys can probably predict what this is going to be, the next mainline Kingdom Hearts game. It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Just like Sora will never be in Smash Brothers, I know that this is not going to happen. It's a fool's errand to predict that Kingdom Hearts is going to make some kind of appearance at this, but I'd like to know what happens next, please, because remind what happens in the secret episode and the end of the Boss Rush Organization 13 stuff. I'd like to know what happens next, please. So can we speed up the process on that? I don't care about that new mobile game they've got that focuses on Xehanort. I don't care. I just want what happens next after Kingdom Hearts 3, please. Just make that happen, Square Enix and Disney. Please, for me. So I guess I'll end it here, because I could go on for another like 30 minutes about what I want just from the next Kingdom Hearts game. So I'll stop the brakes on that nerdo, calm your tits nerdo train. So there we go. So yeah, that's what I'm predicting, both realistically and wish list wise, for the PlayStation 5. I hope to God the event does not suck, but I can definitely see a reality where the event does not go well for them. But we'll see. We'll see come Thursday. I'll be watching it, and you'll definitely hear my thoughts on it afterwards. So keep my fingers crossed. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see, subscribe. Let me know what you want from the PlayStation 5. And as always, I am Razorblade Mango. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.